face in your face.
Hello everyone. As is typical in the NBA, there are some very exciting matchups again. Before we move on to the games, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel, friends. Unfortunately, that's how the YouTube algorithm works. The more likes we get, the more videos we can produce. For now, I'm only sharing my EuroLeague and NBA predictions with you here. Our first matchup is Charlotte Hornets versus Atlanta Hawks. The game between the Charlotte Hornets and the Atlanta Hawks is largely tilted in favor of the Hawks due to missing players. The Hornets are without key players like LaMelo Ball and Miles Bridges, which seriously affects their offensive organization and defensive balance. Young players, especially Brandon Miller and Seth Curry, will try to keep the team afloat. But the absence of big men like Nick Richards and Mark Williams weakens their defense in the paint. The Atlanta Hawks, led by Trae Young, have a strong roster, and big men like Clint Capella and Onyeka Okongwu will put pressure on the Hornets with their dominance in the paint. Bogdan Bogdanovic and DeAndre Hunter contribute significantly to the offense with their outside shooting, and the Hawks' experienced roster is more consistent and deeper compared to the Hornets' young players. The Hawks are likely to dominate the game with their more balanced defense and offense. While the Hornets might play an energetic and fast-paced game, their deficiencies will make it difficult for them to pose a serious challenge to their opponent. Therefore, the Atlanta Hawks seem to be the team closer to victory. I expect the total points in this game to be above 220. The Hawks' strong defense and the Hornets' offensive uncertainty will likely result in a more controlled and slower-paced game. Next up, Detroit Pistons versus Philadelphia 76ers. The experience and star players of the 76ers give them a clear advantage over the young and potential-laden Pistons. Joel Embiid will challenge the Pistons' defense with his dominant play in the paint and versatility on offense. Tyrese Maxey will add variety to their offense with his fast-paced play, and the 76ers will also be effective with their outside shooting threats. The Detroit Pistons, with young players like Cade Cunningham and Jaden Ivey, will try to play fast-paced basketball, but their inconsistency and inexperience could cause problems, especially in terms of defense and offensive organization. Isaiah Stewart and Jalen Duren will be effective in the paint on defense and on the boards, but they may struggle against Embiid. The absence of Bobby Klintman represents a small loss in depth. Despite the injuries to Paul George and Caleb Martin, the 76ers, led by Embiid and Maxey, are strong enough to compensate for these absences. Despite the Pistons' energetic play, the 76ers' deeper and more experienced roster makes them the favorites for this game. I expect the total points to be above 215, as the Pistons' fast breaks and the 76ers' strong defense will lead to a moderately paced game. I think the Philadelphia 76ers are more likely to win. Next, we have Milwaukee Bucks versus Washington Wizards. In the game between the Milwaukee Bucks and the Washington Wizards, the Bucks have a significant advantage thanks to their strong roster and star players, especially Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard. Giannis is always a threat with his dominant play in the paint and fast breaks, while Lillard adds diversity to the Bucks' offense with his outside shooting and playmaking ability. Chris Middleton will contribute significantly with his outside shooting and experience on the court, while Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis will be effective on defense and on the boards. The Washington Wizards, despite their young players being able to play at a high tempo, will struggle due to the defensive weaknesses and inexperience in their roster. Jordan Poole will be their biggest offensive weapon and may be effective with his outside shooting, but their defensive weaknesses could create big problems against the Bucks' powerful offense. Big men like Jonas Valanciunas and Marvin Bagley will be effective in the paint and on the boards, but stopping Giannis and Lillard's impact will be very difficult. The Bucks' offensive power and depth on defense will prevent the Wizards' young roster from getting a win. Therefore, I believe the Milwaukee Bucks are the clear favorites to win this game. I expect the total points to be above 230, because the Bucks' fast-paced play and the impact of their scoring players are likely to result in a high-scoring game. Next, we have Phoenix Suns versus Golden State Warriors. This will be a matchup where both teams are dealing with injuries and missing key players. The Suns are going through a tough period with the injuries of Bradley Beal and Jusuf Nurkic, but having scorers like Kevin Durant and Devin Booker gives them a significant advantage on offense. The presence of experienced point guards like Tyus Jones and Monty Morris also adds depth to their rotation. On the other hand, the Warriors' biggest loss is the absence of Stephen Curry, which weakens their outside shooting threat. However, they may continue to fight defensively under Draymond Green's leadership. Yet, the absence of Curry and other key players like Andrew Wiggins severely limits the Warriors' offense. While the Suns look closer to victory due to their stronger offensive lineup and depth, the Warriors' defense-oriented structure and Draymond Green's game management may keep the game's pace slow. The total points are likely to be below 230, and I think the Phoenix Suns are more likely to win. I've commented on all the NBA games playing tonight. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, don't forget to subscribe with just one click and like the videos as well. Goodbye.